I wanted to highlight one of the biggest reasons for that development, especially on the defensive side of the ball, and that's Bryant Haines, who was honored with the Broyles Award. He was a finalist last year, and if you watch the ceremony, shout out to you, because it was quite a ceremony. Let me tell you. I want to first of all honor Bryant Haines. Full blown deserves this award. The Broyles Award is a massive deal. It obviously goes to the best assistant coach in the country. He would take all of the praise directed at him and give it to anybody else in the room, but that's a guy who full blown deserved this honor. Indiana's defense was unbelievable this year. Obviously, that also goes to the position coaches and the other guys in that room, but the head of the snake is Bryant Haines, and he deserved every bit of the award and the recognition that he got that went along with it. I had, as many people did, a lot of problems with the Broyles Award presentation and the fact that it took about 2.5 hours to get to Holly Rose sitting on the couch with the coaches, which was an awesome series where they had each coach talk about kind of their journey, and we got to meet those guys. And I thought that was really cool, and I came away like really liking all the finalists. But Bryant Haines finally wins the award, and they rush him off the stage because they took too long perusing the crowd and talking to Gus Malzahn and whatever Holly Rowe was doing in the middle of the ceremony. And like they were shooting back and forth between the stage. And it was just, I'm glad he won it. I'm incredibly frustrated that he didn't get to give a speech because he gets up there and he's like, I was told I have to keep this brief. So if he has a speech, I really would like that to be a Bison drop thing. Maybe I'm being selfish and he doesn't want to give the speech, and like, I don't know. But if he had one and he was like ready to deliver it, like a little bit frustrating. But the fact that he won the Broyles Award and he also took a shot at Corey Heatherman, which was absolutely hilarious. I don't know if you saw that either. But just
all in good fun.
Huh?
All in good fun.
Oh yeah. But did you see the Heatherman? Did you see the quote at Heatherman?
No, I didn't.
So Heatherman sat down on the couch first, and they're basically like, can you give us a story about Bryant Haines? And he was like, not that I can tell in front of a room full of people, but the guy refuses to fight me. He'll never fight me. It's always my back hurts. And so they get to Haines, and Holly Rowe is like, well, you're standing there and Cignetti decides to go for it, and you're in your own territory. Like, so you know that if Indiana doesn't get it, like if you guys don't get the first down, like you're in a pretty bad spot for your defense. And he goes, it was our offense against Coach Heatherman, or a Coach Heatherman led defense. And he looks right at Corey Heatherman and he goes, and I felt great about it.
That was awesome. That's a great line. And from a great coach, a guy that he was there at the finals last year, right? Same ceremony, didn't win it. Could have put a big argument for him, just considering the leap that the 2024 team took from the previous year. It was almost like he won it deservingly so. He was the best coordinator this past year, but it was almost like it's like from the past 2 years, like you have been the best coordinator. Here's the undisputed award that you deserve. And man, he's going to be a hell of a head coach if he wants to, wherever it may be, hopefully Indiana. 10 years from now, when Cignetti, I don't even know if Cignetti's ever going to retire, but, when the time comes, he's going to make a great head coach if he wants to. But, some guy, I say that with a little bit of hesitancy because some guys are just meant to be coordinators, right? And that's not a knock on like how good of a coach you can be. It's just a completely different role. You're more of a CEO, GM in this world, and there's money to be made as coordinators. As Bryant Haines is making what, 2.3 mil. He's going to be two more 3 mil probably at this point after all the incentives that he's probably hitting, especially after winning the Broyles Award.
No, I think his base is 3 mil, Brad.
Okay, love that. All right, well, he's sticking around.
He's not going anywhere, dude.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, good to have that guy locked in. A guy that signed up to be with Cignetti on an $8K salary, right? And, worked his way up and is now the best assistant in college football. And he's on our campus and not going to go anywhere because Sig's the one who took a chance on him. Why would he go anywhere? He has the best working relationship you can ask for. He has the best players he has all the players that he wants. He leaves, he's got to, try to get those guys in the portal and try to tamper and do all this shit and get some of, what he's built at Indiana to his new team or whatever in theory. Like, no, he doesn't want to do that. And on top of that, he's making $3 million. Like, if you're getting paid $3 million, your kids are going to college, life's good, you're happy. There's no real reason to leave. So to have that guy locked up on top of Signetti, and like, what goes without saying, like, I don't want to steal a shine from Bryant Haines, but it's like, we have another great coordinator as well who's in the same boat, right? And the fact that we have both those guys locked in for the next 3 years at least based on their contracts. So we got a 3-year potential dynasty window to win as many championships as we can until more coaching staff turnover occurs. Potentially, we'll see.
Bryant Haines Broyles Award, Brad. What are we talking about?
Anyways, very deserving. They were the best defense all year. We were saying it. It was almost like I would call it, like, Ohio State was right there. They were just as dominant. But like when you look back, like, was Ohio State's schedule like that great? I would say Indiana's was a lot tougher. The defense still put up similar numbers and facing better offenses throughout the course of the year. When you talk about an Oregon, talk about a Penn State, talk about an Illinois, really good offenses they had to face throughout the year. They answered the bell consistently with, saw what they did, that Alabama team. Like, that's a good offense led by Kalen DeBoer, right? And they held them to no touchdowns. And they didn't give up multiple touchdowns in the game until the semifinal and the final, besides Penn State. I mean, that's if you're going basically greater than 75% of the year without giving multiple touchdowns, it's probably a really good defensive unit. It's if you want to spell it out.
Yeah, I know. I think obviously they were really good on the field and we saw the results, but it's also like you look at the way his players react to him. You look at the way the coaching staff reacts to coaching with him. And then even like the stuff that was coming out after from the Broyles Award account where they like went to the horse races and he's holding up Gracie Bear and he's screaming at the horse to like, saying, come on, eight. Like, I can't wait to use that video next year. And it's just, that's the guy who deserves it. And, like you get what you earn in the coaching industry, and to have somebody who we looked at and like watched all year and are like, we know he's the best coach in the country, for him to get that recognition was really cool. So shout out to the Broyles Award ultimately.
Shout out. Well deserved, overdue. I mean, I remember getting hyped up about last year, being pretty disappointed that he didn't win. Obviously, who did win it last year? Was it
it was, what's his name? Who's the
Golden?
State, Al right? Golden.
Oh, it was Al Golden. Yeah, I mean, that defense was really good. They had some really good players, though. Not saying that Indiana didn't, but very deserving. Hence why he's in the NFL. Like, that's probably the biggest risk of Bryant Haines now, is like, which NFL team's going to come knocking? That's the only reason for him to leave.
I don't want. He's not going anywhere. If he was going to leave, he would have left. Like, we're not having these conversations.
Well, he's under contract. That's all I'm saying.